And good afternoon. Welcome to Subiaco Oval. It's grand final day. As you can see, all roads lead to Subiaco Oval today on this magnificent warm spring day. We're estimating the crowd at about 25,000 already, and the possibility of it getting up to 30, even 35,000 by the time the big match gets underway in about 25 minutes from now. West Perth and Subiaco. They last met in 1973 when Subiaco defeated West Perth. West Perth haven't won a grand final since 1975. It's been a long drought for the Falcons, Trevor, but the supporters have come out to see them today after that magnificent second semi-final.
And it looks like being a repeat of that sort of style of game, TJ. Everything falling into place for West Perth. It's hot. They have a very tall side. They had a rest last week. Subiaco, a really hard game against East Fremantle, and really it's falling into place for the Falcons for their first premiership in 20 years.
Good to see, Wal, people supporting the WAFL like this.
Yes, it's fantastic, Trevor, isn't it? As you said, probably about 25,000 people here at the moment. We're still more than 30 minutes away from bounce down, so I think it's fair to say that we'll get a crowd of about 30,000, and that's a real boost for the WAFL competition and an endorsement of what we've seen this year, and in particular what we've seen from these two teams, Subiaco and West Perth. There's no doubt in my mind that the two best teams have got through to the grand final.
I took the opportunity of speaking to John Dimmer and Todd Turley from West Perth, and I asked John about his fairy tales run this season with West Perth.
It's been a tremendous year. Yeah, the pre-season was great. A couple of hiccups mid-season, but we've come home very well. And obviously we're in the big one, so you couldn't ask for much more than that.
And a great second semi-final. You must have been pleased with the way they played in that second semi.
Yeah, I can remember sitting back in the coach's box thinking, this is one great game of football we're watching here, and I think for a few minutes there the old tactics disappeared out of the head. I was so impressed with the standard of the game.
Well, I got a bit emotional too. I thought it was the best game I'd seen in 10 years of broadcasting football. Both sides, they're two great teams, aren't they?
Oh yeah. I mean, the contests that we've had all year have been very good. I know they won fairly comfortably at Joondalup in the first game, but then we had a reasonably comfortable win over them mid-season, but the last two have just been outstanding.
Sometimes when that happens and then you get into a grand final, one side can split it open. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, I can remember the draw back in the old VFL days, North Melbourne, Collingwood, and the next game was really blown wide open. I guess that could happen, but fingers crossed for the public that it's a close one. I'm hoping we blow it wide open, of course.
Anything could happen. Maybe a repeat of 1975.
Oh, it could be, yeah, that'd be nice.
John, your coaches get feelings. What's been your gut feeling this week around the club?
I've been very impressed with the way the boys have approached it. I think the disappointment of 2 years ago is still there, and even the disappointment of the preliminary final last year is still there. And I would say they're very keen to try and overcome what's happened in the last 2 years. So, very focused group of footballers.
Everybody fit?
Yes, everybody's fit, other than the long-term injuries that we had. But for the guys who went out in the second semi, we've got everybody available.
You think it may be a physical game?
I think all grand finals are physical, especially in the first 15 or so minutes. Both sides going hard at the football, try to sort each other out. So I don't see this one being any different.
Jason Heatley's been a thorn in your side. Any particular attention you'll pay to him that may be different?
I think he's been a thorn in everybody's side, kicking 120 goals for the year. I don't think there'll be anything major that we do that's different. I think we just have to try and cut down the supply midfield so he doesn't get it so easy.
You've got the talented players that can do that.
I think so, yeah. Darren O'Brien, Darren Harris, the captain, Neil Mildenhall, Ashley Blurton and company that can play midfield. They are a very good group of footballers.
I heard Darren Harris say during the week it's not a team of stars, but when you look at it, both sides have got plenty of stars, haven't they?
Subiaco have got some very experienced players, plus some exciting youngsters, and I think we're in the same category. People may not know the names as well because the WAFL doesn't get the publicity that it used to. But when you actually watch them through the whole year, you can sit back and say these are very good footballers.
They're a very good side, Subi, and I think we've got a pretty good side, pretty evenly matched, play pretty attacking footy, so yeah, I'd say it'd be close.
You've been the instigator of attacks from the half-back flank. Is that something John Dimmer has instilled in your game in particular?
Not really. I think when I first came back, he was sort of thinking of playing me up forward. I just asked if I could have a go at half-back, and I've sort of stayed there. It was never really anything special. It was just I started there and I just stayed there.
Well, you seem to have relished that position.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it actually. Yeah.
Actually, when you think about it, you and Ashley Blurton, two very attacking players on that half-back flank, surrounding Brendan Barrows, it's turned out to be trumps for West Perth.
Yeah, we've all sort of been fairly stable there for at least the second half of the year. Ashley played up forward early, but since he's came back, I think probably the last 10 or 12 weeks we've all played across here. It's been good.
Well, 1975 is a long time ago. You must have been How old were you then when they won their last flag?
I would have been about 2, I think. But yeah, 20 years is a long time. But I think a lot of people have been waiting for the opportunity to celebrate another flag. So hopefully we can give it to them.
You should have the house behind you at Subiaco Oval on Sunday. It should be right behind West Perth.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think 1993 it seemed like there was only West Perth people there, but I know I'd say we had plenty of support. Yeah, it'd be good.
Always exciting. We're looking forward to this big game today. But let's hope it's somewhere near the second semi-final. I always believe that in the lead up to a grand final, somewhere along the way, you get a magnificent game of football, AFL or WAFL. We may have seen it in the second semi-final. Let's have a look at some of the highlights. On a lead, bounces up beautifully for him, ducking and diving outside 50. He pulls it towards the top of the square. Turley, oh, great mark, Todd Curley.
Was a terrific mark. He's very good overhead.
Donnelly goes looking for Heatley. Good mark over the top. Brunton was in front. Heatley with more height. Burton and Feuster. Burton wins the tap. Lamb tackled by Malone, loses it to Langdon. Great smother Harris. Kicked the previous goal. Chips it towards Downsborough at half forward. Great pick up on the half volley. Little one around the corner for Groom. It bootlace level. Being harassed by Monaghan. Back comes Downsborough. Gives it away. Archie breaks out of a tackle. How did he do that? Then pulls it around his body from 50 metres. Getting back. Oh, with tremendous frustration was Hanson, but he didn't touch it. Barrows from behind. Can't mark. Donnelly was in the pack. Truella scouting brilliantly. From the defensive side of the square. Kicks the centre half forward. Craig Turley. What a mark.
Now he breaks to the other side of the ground, but no one was expecting that. He comes back around Groom, kicks towards the centre half forward position, and Donnelly, oh, that's a strong mark. Again, sends the hand pass infield to Ridley. Ridley gets it to Snow. Snow goes long. Heatley's favoured by this kick. Good kick, good mark. Brunton hasn't got too many options at the moment. Looks towards the centre wing position. McFarlane and Mildenhall. Oh, great mark by Mildenhall. Raked it in with one hand. It looked as though he was going to spill it. Gets it to Downsborough on the half-forward line. Curley is unattended. He didn't get the kindest bounce, but gets around the tackle easily. Back on goal, and the Falcons have another one. Malone went without it. It comes free. Taken by Lamb. Into the pocket, but it lands with Barrows.
He's been terrific, Brendan Barrows. He had a real task today on Donnelly. I think he may have taken the honours. Brendan Barrows. Still deep in defence, though, for West Perth. They lead by a goal. Big pack here. Oh, Metropolis was bungled out of the way. O'Connor kicks it upfield, and Schofield's taken the mark. Here's danger. Schofield from 60. Kick on the way. Langdon's mark. Brunton lost track of it.
It was a missed kick, Trev, in fairness to Brunton. It floated.
Yes, Langdon called for it high. I can see him there. And what do they say about extra time?
Can level the scores. He puts it through. Scores are level.
16 goals, 11 apiece. Burton will oppose Whitelaw at the bounce. It's a perfect bounce. Whitelaw wins it. It's taken by Lamb, but he missed it. He fumbled it. Taken now by Burns. Burns shrugs the tackle. Gets it to Malone. Malone under pressure. Kicks into the pocket. Willett charges at it. It's knocked towards the boundary line. The ball runs out of play on the 50-metre line for West Perth. Well, West Perth have it in attack. That's important.
I think we better find out about the time on rule. So 10 minutes each way, is it?
5 minutes each way.
Boundary throw in. Downsborough's there. It goes down in the direction of Harris, but it beats him across the line.
Now, will Downsborough try something over the back here? It can win you or lose you the game.
Well,
that's what someone should be trying to do, get it into the space in front of the West Perth goal.
Be worth trying from West Perth's point of view. It's knocked towards the goal square. Willett leads the road charge at the ball. It's taken by Malone, and his score will do, and he's kicked a point.
And that point won the second semi-final. He looks on with pride now as the grand final teams are about to emerge. His famous red and blue colours there, and the Subiaco supporters are here, well and truly in number.
Both these teams, Trev, do have the capacity to fight back, don't they? Which is an attribute we don't see a lot in WA footy.
They've showed excellent resilience in all games this year. Well,
let's have a look at the West Perth side. They've left out Archie and brought in Valentine. And where they'll play him, I'm not sure. I don't think he would line up. Perhaps he'll start on the interchange. What do you think there, Trevor?
Yes, Valentine would almost certainly start on the interchange. Some interesting scenarios and rumours going around. Mifka named at fullback there. He went on to Heatley, of course, in the second semi-final. The stories around that Barrows may start at fullback with Smith at centre halfback today. I really can't see a role for Ryan Smith if he doesn't play in a key backline side there. And they've made a couple of interesting moves. Tony Godden is playing. There's been a lot of doubt about him during the week. Donnelly, of course, named at centre half forward there. But the important thing is that O'Connor has done a good tagging job last week on the Sandover medalist in Craig Treleaven. I think he's going to have a role today, Nathan O'Connor. Now, it may be that he gets the job on Darren Harris, and that would leave, of course, Schofield once again to pick up Craig Turley when they had a terrific battle in the second semi.
I must say I'm not particularly happy with that SUBIACO team. I don't think it's got the pace and the forward type options that they might need. I would like to have seen either O'Brien or Toya or Cox at least starting on the interchange, and I think also in that lineup that you see there, I don't think there's any doubt that Sam McFarlane will start on a wing. He's been one of their better players throughout the final series, and that would of course release O'Connor.
Might be West Perth out first. It is. Darren Harris and Paul Mifka lead out the Falcons. And the crowd erupt. SUBIACO on the oval at the same time. Two great teams in the WAFL this year. They're the best two teams, there's no doubt about that.
And did you see Carl Langdon eyeballing the West Perth players as he ran out?
Andrew McNish playing his 200th senior game today, Trevor. 176 for Subi, 20 for the West Coast Eagles and 3 for Geelong.
Inducted on Wednesday night,
was he?
Last Wednesday night.
So what an occasion, what a day on which to play your 200th senior game, and there would have to be some chance, I would think, that it might be Andrew McNish's final season at this level.
Only one player for SUBIACO has played the whole season and hasn't missed a game. Bill Monaghan, the fullback. And for West Perth, Logan, Barrows and Burns haven't missed a game for the Falcons. As the players now move towards their positions or move around the ground again, we're just waiting for the toss of the coin. That'll be made by Barry Cable, triple Sandover medalist, on the medal in 64, 68 and 73. There he is in the middle, acknowledging the umpires for this game. The youngsters start to leave the ground as well as people find their vantage spots. A lot of red and blue in the crowd, Trev.
Yes, there is. No doubt at all that's a West Perth crowd. And you heard the roar go up when Advance Australia Fair was finished, and that's going to be inspirational for West Perth today.
Now Darren Harris joins Dwayne Lamb, rival skippers. There's the triple Sandover medalist Barry Cable tossing the coin for the grand final of 1995, won by Darren Harris. West Perth going to the left side. Joondalup Falcons.
Interesting,
what a boon
Trevor.
that has been, the move to Joondalup for them.
I don't think anyone's gone off the ground yet. I think there are still 21 players out there for both teams. Now Paul Miller is coming off, Todd Breeman's coming off, and Damien Hampson.
Gavin Bell and Ryan Smith along with Ben Stewart for West Perth.
So they're the interchange.
There's Breeman, Hampson and Miller. And that's a surprise to me, Ryan Smith off the ground. One big man though, I guess, Trevor, in reserve.
Yes, Mifka going down to pick up Heatley. So,
and it's on between the two. Oh, heavens!
In fact, he's gone straight around, and it'll be a free kick here if he's not careful.
Mifka threw that one. Gee.
Yes, he did. Mifka threw a punch at Heatley, and it's caused this brawl.
I've never seen. Well,
Todd Curley's down. Todd Curley's been punched in the middle of the ground. Someone's hung one on Todd Curley as well, so I guess that evens it up a bit. But Curley, a very vital player for West Perth, is down, and that's a bad start to this game.
Oh, this is disgraceful.
Well, the umpires have got to bounce the ball now.
Very, very ordinary.
And Curley looks a bit bemused there.
They're off again.
And now it's on again. And now Malone's in it.
Langdon and Barrows.
Barrows went at Langdon. And Snow and Malone have got hold of one another, and now the trainers are into it. A West Perth trainer and a SUBIACO trainer into it. The umpire's sending them away.
Come on, fellas, let's get on with the football here.
That all started with Mifka on Heatley.
Without a doubt, we just caught it, Walt, as we were looking down for the matchup.
And Willett's gone straight down. to stand guard.
So,
Well, shades of that East Fremantle Perth, South Fremantle Perth, wasn't it?
Grand final
of some years ago when Shields and Griljasic got mixed up on the opening siren.
And Godden's got Turley, so Godden is tagging.
Mildenhall's got McFarlane. And there's the set of bounce. It's underway, this grand final. First tap to Brunton. Chance there for O'Connor. Tried to soccer it. Langdon bundled out of the way. He's got the football. And O'Brien goes straight into him. That should be a free kick. I would have paid a free kick there.
Oh, they've got to, Trevor, or this is just going to get right out of hand.
It's out of hand already, Walt.
I can tell you that Carl Langdon is in the mood to square up.
Set of bounce again. Whitelaw got it down towards Malone. He's dispossessed. Now the umpire pays a free kick. Maybe a bit belated, I feel. It's going to Robbie Malone. So West Perth work it out of the middle at last. Harris kicks to half forward. Propping underneath that was Logan. With him was Brumley. Brumley's the first one back. He goes looking for the white line and finds it as Logan bustles him over the boundary in a sensational start to this 1995 grand final.
Boundary thrown is at right half forward for West Perth. Downsborough is there to do the ruck work for the Falcons. Metropolis forced to oppose him. Downsborough with a decisive knock inside 50. Parker comes across, loses control of it. Opportunity here for Turley. He's pulled off it. Parker again shovels the ball out. West Perth applying terrific pressure, and now it's on again. This time between Schofield and Turley, two West Coast Eagles teammates. And the throw will take place at right full forward for the Falcons.
And Schofield was the aggressor there.
What a torrid opening to the 1995 grand final. A lot of unnecessary physical stuff. As Turley goes in and players going on top of him, O'Connor was there for Subiaco, and there'll be a bounce in the same position.
The matchups are as per the second semi, just about O'Brien and also Snow. Malone's gone to the middle of the ground though.
Downsborough wins the tap, brings it back for Logan. Logan gets a hand pass away that was meant for Malone, but it's sharp by Godden. Stand over middle, runner up, gives it away to Monaghan, running off Groom. Brilliant hand pass into Snow. He's met solidly by Whitelaw. Barrows misses the mark. Pushed out of the way was McNish. Should have got a free kick. In goes Barrows. Whistle has sounded. It is McNish with the free kick, and rightly so.
And look at Billy Monaghan streaming down the ground to the right full forward pocket.
Well, I know about that, Bill Monaghan, but still. It's McNish with the footy, 55 metres out. It's a wobbly kick, it's way offline. Willett got his hands to it, but too late, out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken by Brendan Barrows.
Gee, it's still on up here. Brunton was just pushed to the ground, no real damage, but a lot of niggling. Short kick to Truella is a good one. Across the face of Golder Harris, he's prominent early. He's got a player loose on the outer side in Mifka. Paul Mifka on the defensive 50-metre line. Looks back in towards the centre square. Harris running loose, unchecked at the moment. Breaks free with a hand pass towards Curley. Curley has it. Wasn't a lot of support, but he did it cleverly and finds Whitelaw in the centre of the ground. Lamb arriving late. Now O'Brien is loose. Curley has run hard from half back. Whitelaw goes beyond all that and looks for Groom. Parker up in front, has his hands pulled away and is then pushed in the back, and he'll get the free kick.
That's a good matchup. Shane Parker against the pacey Ronnie Burns.
Subiaco play on out of defence. Metropolis finds Donnelly. Long way down from half forward. Mildenhall knocks the ball out of his hands and a 50-metre penalty will be imposed. And listen to the crowd. Wasn't 50 metres.
25 is okay.
Short kick has found Lamb at half forward. Subiaco moving the ball forward. O'Connor is loose on the flank. He goes more directly. It's ill-directed. Mark to Mifka. Good mark too. Heatley was on the other side of the pack and that wasn't a good kick.
Mifka, handball over the top. Darren O'Brien dummies around Big J Burton and then favours the outer side of the ground. Target is Downsborough. Couldn't quite find him. Metropolis arrives to make a contest. Burton, Downsborough arrives late. Knocked upfield by O'Connor. West Perth, Ridley and Malone get tangled up there. In goes Valentine. Surprise inclusion in the side, Jeff Valentine. Going in hard out there too was Darren O'Brien. Close to the boundary, O'Connor. Gee, it won't go out. Finally over the white line.
There's been lots of moves in the middle of the ground. Robbie Malone and Dwayne Lamb have played on each other, but Snow and also Darren O'Brien. There's a mix-up in there as well.
No score in this grand final as yet, as that comes down towards Lamb. And he got the free kick. He's away very quickly. experience there from Dwayne Lamb. The kick to half forward, getting in the path of McNish is Whitelaw to take a courageous mark.
Yes, it was, but he's miskicked. It'll go in the direction of Willett. Willett tackled by Curley. Players go in solidly. Whitelaw on Willett, allowed to play on, and there'll be a bounce about 35-40 metres out from the from the Subiaco goal.
Gee, that was a good decision by umpire Garrett then, because Willett was going to ground, and there you see over the top went Whitelaw, but he was already on the way down. Good decision.
Big leap by Whitelaw, doesn't get his hand on it. Donnelly has it as dispossessed, waiting for the ball, whereas it was a Subiaco player who was dispossessed,
McNish.
and eventually it's cleared across the face of the ground by Harris, close to the boundary line. It won't go out. Kept in by McFarlane, fends off it to an opponent, gets the hand pass infield to Grumley. Grumley knocks it onto Snow. Snow kicks under pressure from Milton Hall, in towards the pocket, Blurton up and fists it over.
From the side, Langdon couldn't quite get his tap to it. Barrows tries to barge through. He's held up by Willett, and the umpire Garrett will bounce it down again in this right full forward pocket for the Subiaco Lions.
Of course, part of the tactics are to try and unsettle Subiaco and have them going to square up.
Whitelaw went up, no clean tap again. Ridley going nowhere. Truella was there. Barrows bundled out. Harris riding the white line. Dangerous hand pass. Malone runs it through, and I think that was a safety way to go. So the first blood in this game, and I use that loosely, has gone to Subiaco.
Literally.
This is the man that was put down early. We didn't see who by, after Mifka had caused an uproar early. And it's a good kick back into play. Crowd want 50 metres or 25, not there. Brunton clears it out of defence. Mifka standing alone, takes a good mark on the half-back flank for West Perth.
Not a good effort by Jay Burton, a much taller player, and that's a beautiful kick. Finds Malone. Malone plays on to Turley. Turley is on the half-forward line, kicks in the direction of Ronnie Burns. Close to the line, good mark. He's 60 metres from goal. West Perth forwards moving now. He goes long towards the goal square. Pressure on the Subiaco defence. Well read off hands by Monaghan. Loses it on the bounce. Logan is closing. He chooses to keep it in play. Subiaco under pressure. Donnelly a long way down from half forward, applying the pressure. Ball spills free. Donnelly over the top of a player. Lamb gets it wide. Still the umpires let it go. Malone pushed off the ball. Chance for Lamb. He breaks through cleverly there and has a run. Not often Dwayne Lamb gets that opportunity. Barrows goes across to meet him. Puts him down after he kicked it. Silly play by Barrows.
Didn't matter.
The mark is taken by Ridley in towards full forward. Heatley in front, spoiled by Mifka. Roving the ball well as Schofield. If he can pick it up, he has now. Tries to shrug the tackle. McFarlane's caught. Pressure's great from West Perth to the top of the square. And he's missed.
No wonder.
It's a shocking miss, and Truella goes straight back to him and lets him know. Well, that's a shocking miss.
Gee, there's plenty of feeling in this game. It could explode at any minute, I reckon.
Now Truella and Willett.
Centre half back. And there's going to be a free kick here, and it's going to Subiaco.
Oh, that's not right.
Well, Truella went in on Willett several times after he had missed.
And I think he was warned as well while the umpire Garrett said something to him. And when you persist with that, it's foolish, and he gets another opportunity.
I think both players from both sides need to just pull their heads in here before they start costing their team. As Willett lines up from directly in front, very early days in the game, and this decision is not likely to have any bearing on the final result. But Willett's got the goal. And Subiaco moved to 1-2. West Perth are yet to score.
Wow.
Advantages to the opposition. Whitelaw got the tap, knocked back into the middle by O'Connor. Emerging against Schofield. Good hand pass for Snow. Almost run down by Milton Hall. That was good chase and great endeavour then by Donnelly. And that's his hallmark. Spectacular marking. And that was great courage.
Yes,
Subiaco the first one to get a bit of poise into their game here. And this is Ridley. Just inside 50. Drop punt on the way. Not a bad kick, but it's across the face. And it just misses the target. So Subiaco on the board. They're 1-3. West Perth yet to score. In fact, they've only had it down there a couple of times into their scoring zone.
Certainly Subiaco seem to have regained their composure the best.
Curley. Short pass for Brunton. What a good player he's been in the last half of the season. Dean Brunton favours the half-back flank. Now Valentine and Donnelly. Valentine got a good ride, tried to fist it away. McFarlane Harris by Mildenhall. Harris out of bounds.
That's another free kick. That's just ridiculous.
Well, he ducked him over the line, and that's silly football.
Well, West Perth are not focused here.
McFarlane kicks towards full forward. Heatley went up, couldn't take the mark. Perhaps should have held that. Mifka with poise, gets it across to Harris. Harris, a shocking hand pass meant for Malone. Knocked away by Snow. Now a chance for Willett. Dispossessed by Todd Curley. Now a chance again for Snow. With him there is Brunton. Brunton at ground level to Blurton. Now they go across to Harris. And West Perth repel the attack momentarily anyway.
O'Brien loose on right centre wing, and this is the Falcons' best chance for a solid build-up. He goes long down towards full forward, and Groom is outmanoeuvred by Monaghan illegally in the opinion of the umpire, and the free kick will go the way of Groom. Fairly acute angle. He's not far in from the boundary, as you can see. West Perth kicking with a light breeze in this term. It's a good effort. It's a terrific kick from Groom. First goal to the Falcons. They're 1 goal straight. SUBIACO are 1-3.
Feuster, they needed it. Burton in the middle of the ground, couldn't get it down to his rover. Chance here for Burns. He's run down from behind, loses it to Craig Turley, wobbles the kick to Brendan Logan. His father played in the 1975 grand final, Ian Logan. Now he's kicked it on for Harris, tackle without it. Got to take the free kick here. Harris from 30. Drop punt is a beauty. So now West Perth is...
Falcons by 3 points, and the interesting thing, Trevor, is I'm not sure that he is being tagged. I can't work out who's on him.
It's open slather with Schofield.
Blurton gets it to Curley. Curley kicks down towards half forward, but the kick isn't a good one, and the marker's taken by Parker standing behind Burns. Plays on and spears the ball onto the half forward line. Wasn't a good kick. Lamb was unattended out there. It wasn't a good kick. He was well and truly unattended. As Langdon uses his body well, picked up by Blurton. Now Barrows. Barrows is cornered. Kick is partly smothered by Willett. Comes to Ridley. Needed 2 chances to pick it up. You haven't got time in a grand final. McNish did that well and has then run down and will get the free. But we've just seen SUBIACO give away 2 goals through free kicks. West Perth conceded one earlier. McNish runs around, plays on, hooks on goal and has missed. He's put it across the face of the goal. They only had, I think, 5 goal scorers in total. Heatley, of course, kicked 10, but Donnelly with 2 was the only other multiple goal scorer, and that's a penetrating kick in. Donnelly up, Heatley, Snow it was, I'm sorry, hurriedly back towards full forward, and Langdon takes a very good mark. Langdon was thrown down, there's his shot on goal, and SUBIACO are back in front. They're 2-4, West Perth are 2 straight.
So Feuster up against Burton. Might have just won that tap. Harris made it a certainty, knocked it forward. Shark by Willett, who found a space. Long kick to half forward, bad bounce. Barrows was there, but it was obviously going to bounce away from him. Truella, Todd Curley, little kick around the corner, and Ashley Burton's there on his own. He's got time to poise and settle and then kick it upfield. Truella misses what he should have taken. He's got time to recover. Goes back to Blurton on the crest, right centre wing, kicks into the pocket, and Downsborough, drop punt on the way. Won't reach. Monaghan and Groom carries both of them and bounces over the white line. Groom and Monaghan, and from the back Willett, big thump back to the white line.
Boundary throw in at left full forward for the Falcons. Monaghan knocks it back, but it comes straight to Harris. Harris goes back on goal. He's pulled it too much. In fact, it might not score. That might be a goal. It hit the post. Gee, that bounced in play. It looked as though it had carried the line, but it actually fell just short of the line. And with 2 players wrestling back there, it eluded both and hit the post.
Bob Massey would have been proud.
Darren Harris is having a big effect on this game as Monaghan brings it in quickly, looking for McFarlane. Kick didn't carry to him, but he picks it up ahead of Mildenhall, is pushed as he kicks it, and the ball just bounces out of play. SUBIACO lead by 3 points. Feuster getting mixed up with Burton. Turley is in there. He wasn't able to take it away. O'Connor off the side of the boot. In fact, it's gone back over his head. Downsborough trying to keep it in. He can't. Firework opening to this grand final as Downsborough knocks it towards goal. Parker went back. Groom was tackled. Chance here for Burns of West Perth, and he's hit the post. Gee, Ronnie Burns wouldn't miss too many of them in the course of a season.
Yes. Kick through the ball.
That's that situation where they try and grub it. I don't know why they do that. And it was a bad miss by Ronnie Burns.
Especially the shape of this ball. I mean, if it was a soccer ball, it'd be different, wouldn't it? But
we wouldn't be here, well.
This ball could bounce anywhere on the...
We'd be at Bayswater.
Kick in by Monaghan, goes to the outer side of the ground. Ridley gives chase. Will he get to it? Yes, he does. Flicks it back into play to Willett. Willett over the ball, confronted by Brunton, and together they force.
Downsborough gets it down. Craig Turley, a hand pass. Malone under pressure from Ridley. Emerging out of the pack then was Valentine. Brunton's kick smothered by Godden. That was a good effort. Willett knocks it away. Harris is there though. Harris hand passed it in front of his body, then tackled by Willett. So he's got the free kick on right centre wing. Harris. Big kick for a little man. Downsborough in front. Knocked away by the Subiaco defence. Malone beaten by Snow. On ground level he gets it away towards Stewart. Inboard. Grumbley misses what he should have taken. Making a path there was O'Brien, but West Perth couldn't come through. Allowed Grumbley and Helm to come back and tie the ball up with Logan.
Gee, that was a bad mistake by Chris Grumbley. He just took his eyes off the ball.
Bit of pressure out there at the moment. Bounce, point of the square. Attacking side for West Perth. Good knock by Downsborough. Shark by McFarlane. Hooked around his body. Lamb, bad bounce for him. O'Brien was there. I think he was being held. He was. And it's one of those split-second decisions by the umpire. Big ride, Craig Turley. Couldn't hold the mark. Brought the pack down. Now he uses his body on McFarlane and goes back to Todd Turley. That was brilliant by Craig Turley, and Todd Turley finishes it off with a goal. Oh, that's inspirational by both those players.
What a tremendous second effort from Craig Turley. We'll see him go for the mark here, and he comes down. But Todd Turley there running back to his position. Here it is. There he is, and he's the first one to recover. Look at this. Bounces up. McFarlane had a break on him, but look at him tap the ball through. That's just terrific football. And Todd Curley, ever the opportunist, ready to receive that and finish off well.
Terrific goal to West Perth. Curley and Turley combining.
Our mates.
Exactly. Burton goes up against Feuster. The umpire has let it go. I thought he had blown his whistle. Leading back in the race for the ball here is Willett. He wrong foots Groom. He's got plenty of time now as he looks up towards half forward. Lamb may well take that, but I'm not sure it was intended for him. We'll give Rod Willett the benefit of the doubt. He plays on and goes to half forward, and Schofield takes the mark low down. Dummied the hand pass, now kicks in towards the pocket. Ridley is the target. Brunton is with him. He used his body well on him. Overrunning the ball was Mifka. Brunton has it, decides to go across the face of goal. Gee, ran a long way, but uses the ball beautifully. And he's found Brunton in the back pocket. Brunton at right full back. Kicks the ball over the man on the mark, McNish. It's intended for Barrows. Brunton lost his footing at the crucial moment and gives Barrows the chance, but he's forced to put it out when he lost his between left centre wing and left half forward for Subiaco. Opportunity for Grumley to send them forward. Not a good kick. Barrows reads it best. Little too clever, trying to knock it towards Turley, who keeps it in, soccers it back towards centre wing. Burton knocks it intelligently. Lamb has it. Back through the tackles. Kicks now towards the 50-metre line. McNish used his body well. It's Heatley Shepherds to allow McNish to soccer, but the soccered kick is well offline, and there'll be a throw in at left full forward for Subiaco.
I think Carl Langdon trying to take Todd Curley right back now after Curley kicked that goal. I saw the runner straight out to Langdon.
Both captains are playing inspirational games here. Dwayne Lamb and Darren Harris. They're leading by example. Willett, clean possession. Brought down in a strong tackle. Malone dispossessed. Langdon had it and lost it. Schofield's there, so is Truella. And that's a bounce about 20 metres out from the Subi goal. You must be impressed with Lamb and Harris, Trev.
Yes, they're both going particularly well for their respective sides. And as you said, leading by example, TJ.
Langdon contests the ruck knock over the top of him, Feuster. Round the neck there to West Perth's Turley. Todd Curley, and away he goes. That was lack of discipline there from Subiaco. He made about 30 metres. The kick carries Burns and Parker. Now the race is on. Burns stops. Parker tried to bundle him out of the way. Play on, says the umpire. Through comes Harris. Gets a hand pass away. Again it's Todd Curley from the centre square, and Groom in front holds the mark. He's on a more acute angle. Now from 55, that drop punt sails goalward, comes back and goes through. He's got two now, Chris Groom, and they've both been magnificent goals from outside 50.
Well, the first 2 goals for West Perth came from free kicks from hard-working players, Groom and Harris. But the last 2 goals have been from good work, and Harris is involved again. He might have thrown that to Todd Turley, who's sitting down there with no opponent at the moment. That was an instant when Carl England was going off the ground. And Billy Monaghan being led in the race to the ball there.
Well, Willett is coming back into the forward line now for Subiaco. Bremen is on the half-forward line with Langdon off the ground. It's not the fastest forward line as Brunton goes up, but it's taken by Logan, who went down. That should have been a free kick out on the wing. West Perth regain the ball. O'Brien chips it in towards half forward. Logan, wrong foots Metropolis. He's 50 metres from goal. It's carrying the kick, and it just eludes the player down there in Smith. It was an interesting kick. I didn't think it was going to make the distance, but it in fact would have if it had gone straight. Just kept floating. But Smith, the ball came off his fingertips and hit the post. And so there will be a throw in at left full forward for West Perth. It's Groom doing the ruck work. In fact, it was O'Connor for Subiaco who got his hands on the ball. O'Connor goes to ground again. Had the ball held to him in the opinion of the umpire.
Brendan Logan changing Rover with Darren Harris, now having a run on the ball. There he is, number 14.
The umpire choosing to throw it up. Downsborough with a superior height advantage kicks it goal. Metropolis is playing on Downsborough and is being forced to oppose him at these bounce downs and throw-ins in the full forward area. So the kick in this time is taken by Stewart.
Beauty.
It is a good kick, and it's all West Perth. Feuster misses what he should have taken. O'Connor was run down by Mildenhall. Neither of those 2 players has been particularly damaging so far in this game, and we're now 30 minutes into the first quarter. 4-3 to 2-4. West Perth lead by 11 points. Taken by Lamb. His kick was smothered, but Schofield runs onto it. Chance here for a late goal for Subiaco. The kick to Donnelly is a good one. He plays on ahead of Barrows. Missed kicks, and it's Mifka, but he couldn't mark it. Almost a chance for Heatley. Comes back to Mifka. Gets it wide to Curley. Curley goes wider still in the direction of Brunton and Malone. Now they've got a player loose in Logan on centre wing. The kick finds Logan. Can West Perth mount a late attack? Now the options have been cut off. Logan from halfback kicks towards centre wing. Brunton was in front, but Feuster tried harder. This is Willett. It's Godden, I'm sorry. It kicks back to half forward, but missed kicks. And the mark is taken by Curley.
Todd Curley, been a good player in this first term. That wasn't a good kick. McFarlane sockers it into the pocket. Ball rolling towards the boundary. Out comes Mifka and makes a contest on the white line. That was good desperation.
He's been terrific, Mifka. He's been prepared to leave Heatley and go and put a number there. And that's well done.
Tackling has been sensational from both sides. Fierce tackling. Donnelly does the ruck work. Gets it down to Bremen. Snap from right full forward. Oh, that's a beauty. He's got a thigh strain, Brunton.
To the ball back in the centre. It was Brunton who won it down. Turley was about to break away with it, but the siren sounds. And so ends a dramatic first quarter. In the 1995 Grand Final, it was on for young and old before the ball had been bounced. And at quarter time, West Perth lead by 5 points. It's 4-3 to Subiaco's 3-4. The second term in this Grand Final, and it's West Perth leading by 5 points. Subiaco kicking with a light southwesterly breeze in this term. As West Perth get it forward through O'Brien, taken by Grumley. His kick was smothered. Chance here for the Falcons. It was Burns who gets it to Logan. Logan looks towards full forward and Smith. Great kick and a good mark. They struck back strongly after Subiaco did the initial scoring in this game. And that's a very good kick from Ryan Smith. He's got it. West Perth have got their 5th.
People around, plenty of traffic.
Feuster and Brunton both go to the ground. Again, West Perth's Bell trying to emerge. Malone. It's a 20-metre kick upfield. Downsborough in front of Metropolis. They both overrun it. Picked up by Grumley just inside the white line. The kick to centre wing. Feuster behind Brunton. Now it's Mildenhall who breaks the tackle. Again. And he was held when he hand passed in front of his body. Now he's got the free kick for West Perth. Squares it up. This is Feuster. Or O'Brien it is. O'Brien in the centre square. Chips into the pocket for Burns. Was he pushed? No, play on the court. Good desperation by Parker. Gets it out to O'Connor. He gets away from Burns. Back to Parker. Subiaco under pressure here. Parker going the wrong way. O'Connor. He goes defensively to Stewart. And now Subiaco kick to half-back. Schofield's got the sit on Craig Turley, and he's got the mark. Well
touch
done.
ball, not paid.
Nope.
Call to play on. I'm not sure who touched it.
Unlucky.
Schofield dummies around Harris. Schofield from centre half back towards the centre of the ground. Ridley could have been interfered with. Play allowed to go on. Snow was. And Snow will get the free kick, and that should be a relayed kick. Has
Yes,
to be.
it is.
Opportunities that Subiaco need to convert, but he's missed. Valentine comes off and Brunton goes back on with that left thigh heavily strapped. So Subiaco wasting opportunities. 3-5 to 5-3. West Perth lead. Waiting on Curley to bring the ball into play. Goes short and just finds Truella. Willett was closing. Truella plays on wide with the hand pass into the pocket and Mifka. Mifka to Mildenhall, and West Perth bring it out quite comfortably. He's at half back. He goes up towards centre wing. Downsborough is the target. Metropolis gives the contest. Malone has it. He's caught. Gets a kick of sorts away. In goes Downsborough. Back comes Malone. Still cornered. Now he looks for some support and finds Logan. Logan is just ahead of the centre line. West Perth using the ball with considerable composure. Harris has it. Kicks inside 50 metres. Brunton comes across the front of the pack. Off hands it comes to Feuster. He gets rid of an opponent in Brunton and gives it to Downsborough, who's kicked. No, he's missed. Well, perhaps that was an opportunity that should have been converted to by West Perth.
Good crumb reading by Brendan Feuster, but West Perth getting on top across the middle. Mildenhall fought back very well against McFarlane, and Logan is a valuable player for them up on the forward line.
So the veteran Billy Monahan goes down the middle with not a good kick. Landed straight with Mildenhall. He's still in the centre square. Chips it out in front of O'Brien. There's some work to do here. He gets around Metropolis, or does he? No, good tackle, Metropolis. In goes Downsborough. The ball squirts out. Burns is there. With him is Parker, and Parker beats him again. Parker's playing good in defence here. This is Grumley, tried to do too much. He's lost it. Bell, Harris, run down there by McFarlane. Chance now for Malone. Malone gives it away to Bell. He finds some space from 50. Drop punt on the way. Touch through. Well done, Stewart. As Stewart brings it in intelligently this time to find Nathan O'Connor, a star of the second semi-final, by the preliminary final, when he cut Craig Treleaven out of the game. Now Ridley's mark, Members wing, kicks to centre half forward. Donnelly will be the target. He wasn't in position. Breeman knocks it away. Another chance for Breeman. Gets a hand pass to Donnelly. Got away from Barrows. Donnelly off one step. It's just offline. G. Subiaco.
Todd Curley brings the ball in and finds Malone. Snow gets there, spoils the mark, did enough to spoil the mark, but overran the play. Barrows is there to lend support. Brunton back to Malone. West Perth setting it up well. O'Brien has it. Straight through the centre he goes in the direction of Turley, and O'Connor chips in front. Nathan O'Connor starting to get a few possessions. He's found Jay Burton. They didn't gain a lot with that kick. He goes long now. McNish is the target. Brunton his opponent. Used his body well, but the ball didn't fall the way McNish would have liked it. And Hampson comes on for Subiaco. Feuster is up. Chance for Schofield. Harris on the bottom did well. Socket forward by McNish. Lands with Willett. He breaks the tackle. 30 metres out. Willett has kicked the goal. That's his second.
And not many break the tackles of Truella. It was a good effort by Rod Willett. That bounce favoured Burton. Down to Willett, who kicked that last goal. Now he's doing too much. Was that holding the ball? Yes. He bounced it in the tackle. So a little bit over-ambitious then, Rod Willett. Burns kicks into the pocket. At the back, Smith. Good mark. Now he shoots from 40. Drop punt on the way. He's pushed it across the face. So both teams are squandering opportunity. He's looking for Dwayne Lamb, the skipper. Mildenhall across his path. Did pretty well then. Godden has it socket away by Feuster. It's rolling towards the pocket. McFarlane and Feuster, David and Goliath. Now Godden. Caught. Made no attempt to get rid of it. Now picked up by McFarlane off 50. Kicks back into the middle of the ground. Down comes Todd Curley. With him is Breeman. Malone in front of them. Gets it away towards Harris. Harris runs to 50. Draws a player. Gives it to Downsborough. From 30 metres, he drills it. West Perth a 6-6, Subiaco a 4-6. He sent Todd Turley into a virtual open goal. This is across the half-forward line. Todd Turley had it and missed it. Harris had his strides and almost lost him. Now it's Malone. Gets around Godden. A good football, Robbie Malone. Downsborough in front. Fisted away by Metropolis. Across their path, Logan close to the boundary. Did he keep it in? I don't think he did. He got a high tackle.
That was after the boundary umpire signal was out too.
I agree with you, Trev. Logan. Smith in front. Holds the mark. Acute angle. Drop punt on the way. Is straight. He's kicked 2 goals for the game. Crowd, well.
Burton and Whitelaw. Burton does best. Curley was pretty committed. Mildenhall in the direction of Curley. Curley appeared to be pushed. Play allowed to go. Godden. Rare touch to Bremen. Bremen a telling kick, and McNish will mark in the goal square and kicks a quick reply. Stewart is coming out to the half-back line, I think.
Yes, Buckenara realising that problem with Smith. Ryan Smith. Truella bundled out of the way by Schofield, but picked up by Harris. Hand pass was meant for Blurton. Sharp by Schofield. Blurton with pace. Schofield brilliantly done on the boundary. Now he cuts inboard, and good pass to McNish. McNish from 50. Drop punt. He's hooked it badly. And I don't think he scored, no. Langdon back on. And Jay Burton's off the ground. Up goes Whitelaw, juggles them up, couldn't hold it, punched away from O'Connor. Overrunning it was Craig Turley, back comes O'Connor, dispossessed. Now he pushes it inboard, that was well done. Stewart to Bremen. Bremen looks for McNish or Heatley, too far for them, and taken by Blurton.
Blurton breaks to the outer side of the ground. Perhaps Bremen could have gone for home that time. Kicks beautifully onto centre wing and finds Whitelaw. Langdon dropping into the gap, but he's too much of a gap. Burns misses what he should have taken. Parker picks it up and takes him on. Gives the hand pass across to a teammate who chips the ball into the centre but misses the target. Gives West Perth a chance. Harris went without it. Snow comes in and ties it up. Up against Whitelaw and he's beaten easily. Parker leaves Burns. He's playing very well at half-back and finds Godden. Godden at right half-forward. Looks to fall forward and Heatley. Heatley couldn't pick it up. In fact, left it for Mifka. Mildenhall took his eyes off it and he's claimed that's almost holding the ball. Into the second half of the second quarter as Ridley went without it. Picks it up just inside the line. McFarlane has it. Thought about giving it to Bremen. Now goes to centre half forward. Donnelly was well covered, well smothered. Barrows has it. Hand passes to the advantage of Truella. If it'll sit, it won't quite. And he's outnumbered. He'll be happy to put it out of play. Truella can't get it out. Now the support arrives through Bell. He gets it to Malone. Well played, West Perth out of defence. Coming across to challenge him now is Donnelly. Long, hard run for that player. Good kick to Logan. The ball stays in. Oh, free kick against Hampson.
Gee,
what do you think,
tough? Well, very ticky touch, but you are allowed to go for the football.
Logan plays on and kicks high towards full forward. Monaghan in front, too much height from behind. Turley couldn't pick it up. O'Connor goes off the ground. Well trapped by Hampson. Knocks it towards the boundary line. Turley leads in the race. Close to the line, it's gone out.
48 plays 36 in favour of West Perth. 80 minutes gone in this second term. Too far for Bremen, coming from O'Connor's hand. In goes Groom, sliding it on top but couldn't tie it up. McFarlane slaps it out. Lamb's there, he's in trouble. Was set upon. And the umpire finally calls it up. West Perth have almost bulldozed this into the forward line. Downsborough again, well done. Logan went without it. Malone couldn't find it. Hampson at ground level, couldn't get the hand pass in. Now he gets it away to Snow. Over the top, that's dangerous. O'Connor, run down by Turley. Chance for O'Brien. O'Brien kicks it. Goal! What a kick, O'Brien, but it didn't quite carry. Missing the mark down there was Willett. He's in trouble now, tied up by Burns.
What a sensational attempt from Darren O'Brien there. He just had no room at all, and I thought for 1 minute it was a goal.
Willett saved the day in the last line.
Nearly cost them too, didn't he, with the mark?
Downsborough, that's the third time he's got it down to Harris, who was held without it, says the umpire. Right in front of goal, but on a very acute angle. He's only about 10 metres inside the boundary. Let's have a look at that again, Trev.
Yes, well, how did he get rid of the ball? The free kick was against David Snow, but
he put it down for mine.
That's right. I think it should have been play on that decision.
He's lucky to have it. and he's missed it. And perhaps a little bit of justice there for Subiaco. Harris missing in the right full forward pocket as West Perth go to 7-7 and Subiaco 5-6.
13 points the margin as Monaghan brings it in. The target was Bremen. The kick wasn't good enough, but Malone
On Burns. Parker had to come off with that hit in the head.
Well, that's a blow for Subiaco because Parker's been doing a good job on Burns, and I'm not sure that Miller will be quick enough to go with him as Whitelaw kicks back towards half forward. Downsborough was up in front. Downsborough gave a very good contest twice, 3 times. Gets the hand pass further afield. Burns is down behind play. Kick on goal from Logan. Won't score. Bounce is important though. O'Connor gets there first. He's able to get away from Logan. Shepherd from Snow gives him time. Shocking kick. Marked well by Lamb. Clever mark in fact. Now Lamb kicks towards half forward and Donnelly takes the mark. Miller going back looking for Burns, who's back on his feet. Donnelly kicks towards full forward. Heatley is there and Lifter comes over the top. Throw in is at left half forward for Subiaco.
And Gary Bacanara there saying, what can I do? I'm not going to be able to win it through my full forward today. Jason Hilly, that was a terrific spoil from Paul Mifka.
Throw in just inside Subiaco's 50-metre line. Langdon and Stewart doing battle with the much taller Whitelaw. Chance for Ridley. Hand pass wasn't great, but it finds Schofield. As clever as ever. Kicks towards McNish. Terrific kick. McNish under pressure though, couldn't take the mark. Mildenhall is caught. Hand pass misses Curley, but he's got a lot of time. Looks down towards the half-back line and Malone is unattended. Malone starting to cut them to ribbons. He's getting out on his own a lot. McFarlane goes across to confront Mifka. The kick down towards half forward and the push is against Smith. The free kick will go to Willett.
This second term, the grand final, almost 24 minutes gone.
Almost at time on in the second quarter as the chance comes up for Subiaco. Player pulled off the hand pass, I think it was Schofield, and now the free kick is going to West Perth and it will be taken by Malone. He's had a good second quarter.
He has, hasn't he?
Didn't have the ball. He looks into the centre and Truella is unattended. Langdon closing on him. Got his kick in just. Came off the side of the boot. Groom comes to it with Monaghan. Groom did best and was well shepherded in there by Burns. Groom with time and room. 2-on-2 back in the goal square. Well played back there by Metropolis. Chance now for Schofield. He has to come back towards the goal square. Willett provided the support. They need a good kick here, Subiaco. Closing was Whitelaw. Destroys Stewart's attempt to mark. Smith has it. He knew Turley was running at goal. His hand pass is chopped off and he's hurt his shoulder in that. Chance for Burns at the top of the square. He couldn't pick it up. Harris does. Hooks on goal. It's hung. Terrific goal to the West Perth captain. He's got 2. And that starts to break the game open a little bit. West Perth 8-7. Subiaco 5-6.
Totally focused, the little man, as the centre square infringement has been recognised. And it's going to West Perth. Subiaco in a spot of bother at the moment. Smith on a lead. He's taken the mark in front of Willett. He has been a headache. No penalty there. Crowd wanted a penalty. It wasn't there. Smith is still in the centre square. Groom moving around at full forward. That's the way it goes. Oh, he did this pretty well, Groom. Interference, I thought. Snow doesn't like it.
He wants to be careful.
Well, he was just pulled down. The free kick was clearly there, as we'll see on our replay. There's no risk about that. Groom was going to mark the football, but for the interference.
Well, you've 9 times out of 10 they'll pay these. We've seen that all year, in fact every year. Oh gee.
Well, he had his arm over his shoulder and just pulled him down, didn't he?
So Groom, Chris Groom, 2 goals to his name and a chance for West Perth to lay the foundations that they can build on here prior to half-time. Shoots from just inside 50. Good looking drop punt. Just got in the right side of the post. He's got 3.
Very important for Subiaco to try and get one back before half-time or not concede any more at the worst. As Whitelaw picks it up and gets it to Malone. Malone under pressure from Lamb. It's socked away by the latter. He retrieves it for Subiaco, looks towards centre wing. This kick needs to be precise. Snow and O'Brien and West Perth are playing with increasing confidence.
They're now at the half-time siren here, the Falcons, I don't reckon.
The play on to Curley. Curley in towards full forward. The mark taken by Hampson. Hampson looking for options, kicks high, puts the Subiaco teammates under pressure, was knocked on cleverly by Donnelly. Away goes Subiaco's McFarlane, kicks to half forward. McNish allowed the ball to go, I think, but it beat both him and Valentine. Brunton tries to soccer it ahead, taken by Truella, gets it to Mifka, cornered by Heatley. Good hand pass to Valentine, and here's Truella with dash from the back pocket. Oh, West Perth can't do anything wrong at the moment. Yes, they can. Steve Truella can anyway.
It always happens well.
The ball drifted away in that light southwesterly breeze, went out on the full. Now McFarlane takes the kick from O'Connor. We're just into time on. As McFarlane kicks back towards the 50-metre line, Donnelly up over the top, spoilt Ridley. Mildenhall has it, gets away from the pack easily. It's West Perth with all the run at the moment. Towards half forward, Logan was up. Lands with Hampson, he didn't look, kicks hurriedly back towards half forward. Curley backed his judgment. Opportunity here for McFarlane. He pulled it back and put it over the line.
Hampson's kick towards Donnelly, up in front, usually hangs on to those. Bell got it towards Todd Curley. Lamb put pressure on him, back comes Donnelly as well. And now Mildenhall gets tangled up. Malone's there with Lamb, pushed out to Snow. He hooks it high to centre half forward. Whitelaw lost it. Stewart knocked it straight into the path of Barrows, and the Barrows goes for a cruise across the 50-metre line in defence, then puts it up very high for Truella. Bounce is crucial, but it bounces the right way, I think, for Steve Truella, and finds the white line. And there's the half-time siren. Very good quarter for the Falcons. They went from 4-3 to 9-7. Subiaco from 3-4 to 5-6. 61 plays 36. And he led by example, Trev. Darren Harris.
Shaping up as potentially the Simpson medalist today, along with Molly Malone, has done a terrific job. He hasn't figured it all, Jason Heatley, completely outpointed by Paul Mifka.
Groom has kicked 3, Smith 2, good move into the forward line. Harris, as we've mentioned, Willett all over the place. The Willer, the Wisp, Rod Willett has kicked 2 goals. Langdon, Bremen and McNish have got 1 each. But Subiaco need to regroup now. They need to come back after half-time with all guns blazing, because West Perth on a bit of a roll prior to the half-time break. And there's been many good players for them, Trev.
Yes, there have. In fact, I've got a list here with about 8 long. Harris has been terrific. Curley, Mifka we mentioned, Malone, Logan, Feuster and Brunton. And there, Craig Turley going off has also done some good work for his team. And listen to the roar of the crowd as West Perth go off the ground. They're 25 points in front. There's half a game to go, but they're well poised to win their first premiership since 1975.
Well, Jay Burton, it's up to you, really, if Subiaco are to get a move on in this third term.
Metropolis to centre half forward.
So there's the bounce to start the second half. Both ruckmen missed it. Whitelaw fumbled it out wide, and Bell, slung as he kicked, goes very high and wide out to half forward for West Perth. Craig Turley the first to arrive. Pack crashes around him. He goes back to Bell. Bell drives long towards full forward. Monahan at the back. Groom in front. Ball now in the pocket. Running onto it, the danger man for Subiaco in Darren Harris. He snaps one at goal. What a start. Gee, he's been electric today. He can do no wrong, Darren Harris. And he'll long remember his third goal in this grand final.
Well, if you wanted a dream start to a third quarter of a grand final, when you're 4 goals in front, John Dimmer's just had his. And it's just terrific hard work by Darren Harris. He's out of picture. There he is. And how quick did he get boot to ball, the little rover? He's been a great inspiration to West Perth today. And I think this far from home, TJ, the cup's on its way to Joondalup.
Yes, they're going to take some catching from here. They've got the pace, they've got the height. It's very hot and trying. And there's Whitelaw winning the ball again. Burns overran it but knocks it on towards centre half forward. Another opportunity for Logan. He went without it. It was Hampson who couldn't control the ball. So their star centre half forward as Turley hooks the ball towards full forward. Groom was the player who charged at it. Downsborough knocks it straight to Logan, and he's missed. Oh, that's a bad miss by the youngster. That could just about have been a nail in the coffin, even this far from home, because 2 goals in the opening 2 minutes of the third quarter would have not just extended West Perth's lead, but would surely have sapped a significant amount of Subiaco's morale and energy. The kick in from Monaghan is intended for O'Connor. Mildenhall is over the top of him. O'Connor was holding the ball for mine. Whitelaw gets the ball to the side of the pack. Donnelly sharks it. Hooks it towards goal. Heatley and Mifka. Heatley in front is spoilt by Mifka. Godden tries to break the tackle. Could have been penalised for holding the ball. Brunton has it. Hooks it out of the danger zone. Now the race is on between Schofield and Bell. Schofield is very clever. Taps the ball away from Bell. He's got a player in Brunton loose at centre half forward. He's just behind half forward. Goes long to the pocket and Heatley's got away from Mifka. He has to kick these types of goals if Subiaco are to get back into the game. Oh, terrific kick. That's a very good kick and a very good goal from a fellow who's been well beaten for most of the day.
So Andrew McNish. Schofield breaks. It's too short. McNish ignores it right wisely and goes looking for Donnelly. Barrows up behind. Destroys. Running onto it Schofield. Truella did well, but the umpire's whistle has sounded. And Brendan Barrows this time with a free kick in defence for West Perth. And a great job on Donnelly. Kicks to the outer side. Well, Downsborough hopelessly outpointed there. Shepherding. He was out of position, but shepherding is the rule. And that's the way it's gone. Free kick to Ian Downsborough.
Downsborough's at right half back. Subiaco giving away an important kick there. They had the chance to go forward. And Smith takes another strong mark out on the outer side of the ground between right centre wing and right half forward. Moves the ball on quickly, too quickly in fact. And he's put it out of play on the full.
Lucky I didn't say what I was going to say. I was going to say that was a masterstroke move to put Smith up there and he boots it out of bounds on the full.
Yes, it's interesting though with Downsborough in the forward pocket, who's done okay at centre half forward.
O'Connor brought the ball back, but Downsborough takes a good mark, gets it to Truella. Truella bounds round the outer side of the ground, kicks the ball to within scoring distance for the Falcons. Groom at the back. Subiaco having got the reply to the early goal from West Perth, concede another. The Falcons are not going to surrender this situation easily, and Chris Groom, who has contributed so well throughout the season, has been influential again.
Snow, first back Truella, backed out of trouble brilliantly. Did that very well, Steve Truella. Now he finds Bell. Bell confronted by Burton, goes up along the white line, but ill-directed again. Willett, who was down a moment ago, has recovered quickly, gets a hand pass upfield to Stewart. On the crest on the outer side. Good looking drop punt into centre half forward. Langdon's mark. Langdon tries to do too much. He was caught by Whitelaw but got his kick in. But consequently it fell short. Marked by Valentine.
Oh, it's falling apart for Subiaco a bit at the moment. Here's Curley. Curley from right half back looks to the outer side of the ground. And Darren Harris is 15 metres in the clear. He runs at Willett and then Willett takes him on. Relayed kick. Harris is down. He's all right. He's going to get to his feet now. The umpire's whistle's gone. Now what's happening? A free kick to West Perth. He's not all right, I'm sorry. I didn't realise it was that severe. But certainly it should have been a relayed kick. And I think what happened
I reckon it's been relayed twice, really.
I think the umpire paid the advantage in the first instance. Here's the Downsborough kick. Now this is the second kick and the one that we're about to see taken. Groom, well, that was a bit soft.
Well, he's paid a free kick for that, ostensibly. Harris is on his feet on the far side.
I think Subiaco will be a lot better manning up on Darren Harris throughout the course of the day rather than worrying about trying to fix him up after he's got rid of the ball. Now Groom lining up for his fifth. And it would be a goal that would make Subiaco's task well nigh impossible.
Selection from Subiaco has been very costly.
So back in the middle of the ground, Burton beats Whitelaw, didn't go very far. West Perth's Harris again with a free kick. Right in the middle.
21 possessions already. He'll win the Simpson medal by so far.
That's a good kick, penetrating kick. Groom through his hands at the back. Willett with nowhere to go. There were no options. He kicks it straight up in the air. Logan behind Hampson. Hampson, good mark. Lays it off to Godden. Then out wide, taken by O'Connor, who kicks to the wing. Snow juggles the mark. Subiaco on the move here, trying to build something up. Good evasion around Todd Curley. Brings it inboard. That wasn't so well directed. Now Mildenhall's got it. Shandover medalist, kicks short, Whitelaw on the bounce, Langdon puts him down, and Truella runs away with the football. Free kick was paid, I think, as Truella kicks to half forward. Up in front was Smith, couldn't hold the mark, O'Connor dispossessed. Smith plays on quickly, high kick towards full forward, Downsborough in front, Monaghan destroys from behind, and again the whistle has sounded here.
And Groom's down behind play as well.
And Whitelaw's been taken straight off the ground.
Yes, there was blood there, I think, in the mouth. And Groom's been...
That was pretty crude on Whitelaw by Langdon. He'll shoot from 40 metres. Drop punt on the way, comes back.
He's got it.
He swung it in. Off the boot, it looked as though it wouldn't make the grade. But it came back nicely. That's his second.
Willett looks back towards centre wing. Subiaco outnumbered there, but a courageous mark taken by Schofield.
Metropolis to the back line, and Monaghan now at centre half forward for Subiaco.
Well, Subiaco trying to do something as the kick from Schofield under pressure finds Grumley. He's had a shocking day too. Grumley from between centre wing and half forward kicks to the true centre half forward position, and a terrific mark has been taken by Miller.
As Miller lines up for Subiaco, but they're 44 points in arrears. 55 metres out, good looking kick by Miller for a goal.
Almost perfect conditions here at Subiaco Oval this afternoon as O'Connor sends Subiaco forward. Blurton is favoured by the bounce. They come across to meet Monaghan. Down goes Blurton. I didn't see who hit him, but he hasn't moved.
Miller.
And it's a relayed kick. Heavens above, Subiaco have really lost it here. Here it is again.
Elbow.
Yeah. Now,
elbow, you can't raise your elbow, and gee, this game really has got away from the umpires at different times
got away
today.
from Subiaco too.
Well,
they've lost their cool, Subiaco.
Yes, and the stretch is coming out for Ashley.
Ashley Blurton is also back. And West Perth are in command of the grand final. And there's another free kick going West Perth's way.
And Ben Stewart's just a terrific player to have on at this stage of the game. He does get into the bottom of packs, and that's why he got that free kick.
Kicked a vital goal in the second semi-final. Towards the end of the play, Craig Turley flashed to the play today too. Done some spectacular things, although that doesn't indicate a great game. From right centre wing, a wobbler into the forward line. Stewart over the top of Smith, taken by Downsborough. Off one step, he kicks it towards goal. Milton Hall will arrive in time. He got a favourable bounce, goes around on a small arc, hooks it back and kicks it. Well done by the Sandover medalist of 2 years ago, Neil Milton Hall. The red and blue streamers come out again.
Goals to Groom, 3 to Harris and 2 each to Smith and Downsborough for West Perth. And for Subiaco, only Rod Willett has scored more than one goal. O'Brien gets the hand pass to Harris. Harris gets the kick down towards half forward. Smith was in front but is spoilt from behind. Picked up by Willett, who didn't really look. Burton is there with Whitelaw. Neither able to take the mark. Milton Hall did best at ground level. Langdon got his head out of the way in the nick of time. They wouldn't have been too sympathetic if they'd had a chance to hit it, I don't think. And now Godden clears the ball across the face of the ground and finds McFarlane. McFarlane has a teammate on further up the ground. The mark is taken by Miller, who kicks in towards full forward. Donnelly couldn't take the mark. Heatley, kicking under pressure, has put the ball out of play on the full. It's been a tough afternoon for Jason Heatley. He's kicked just one goal. Paul Mifka's done a terrific job on him. And the free kick is taken by Bell in the back pocket. He finds Mildenhall, who is playing with increasing confidence. He breaks through the back line, ran a long way, gets the hand pass across the top to O'Brien, and West Perth are away. Turley is unattended in the centre. Turley charges through half forward. That was Hampson who had to leave his man, and the mark has been taken by the short pass into the pocket, and Smith takes the mark. Subiaco have run out of steam, and Smith steers it through for his third. West Perth's 15th, and they are threatening now to turn this grand final into a rout.
Feeling pretty excited at the moment, those players.
I think Barry Day had a day out that day, didn't he?
Kick 7.
Yes, he did. Godden beaten for it by Burns, picked up by Harris. Harris toe pokes it through. but it bounces away the wrong side for one behind only. Earlier in the match, puts it back into play now from full back. Subi outnumbered here, but perhaps the free kick will go Subiaco's way. Interference to Nathan O'Connor.
He's done a pretty good job on Craig Turley, Nathan O'Connor. Yes. Certainly got more possessions than Turley.
Kicks to centre wing, Langdon and Todd Curley. Langdon takes a skillful mark. Crowd don't like him, but they never do. Brings it inboard. Dwayne Lamb, run down by Stewart, didn't have the footy. McFarlane evades the tackle of Truella. Kicks a wobbler inside half forward. Barrows is there. Coming out to meet it too was Heatley. Overrunning it though, and Mifka first back. He's been sensational, Mifka. And the ball now on the outer side of the ground for Metropolis.
Finds Lamb. Lamb hooks it around the corner towards Grumley. Grumley misses what he had to take. In comes Langdon. He did well but can't control the ball. Grumley was being held and he'll get the free kick. So Grumley, the umpire telling Subiaco they have to bring the ball back. Grumley started in defence, but he's really struggled. Players loose on the outer side. Here's Godden, who we didn't think would take his place in the team this afternoon. Heatley on a long lead, takes the mark out in front of Mifka. Jason Heatley lining up for his second. Goals late in this quarter would certainly help Subiaco, and Barrows takes the mark. That's well judged. And again, not the contest that Subiaco needed on the goal line.
You can see why he poled so well in the Sandover middle. Brendan Barrows completely blanketed Donnelly today, and it's been a magnificent final round for Brendan Barrows, recruited from Claremont. Logan in front of Hampson, punched away by the latter, and a boundary throw in.
He's one of the players here, Sam McFarlane, that's tried hard for Subiaco today with his 14 possessions, but as Wally mentioned before, really not enough players helping him.
Chant again goes up for West Perth. Boundary throw in here from the side. Todd Curley through the traffic. McNish lets it go for Hampson. Hampson defensively. Now Burton's got to run onto it. McNish wobbles it up towards full forward. Bowing back Barrows. They get mixed up. Mifka and Barrows allows Donnelly in. Barrows got Donnelly out of the way. Umpire's whistle not sounding. Mildenhall fed the hand pass, and away he goes again. Reminiscent of his 1993 form. And Stewart, as Trevor said, a very good player to come off the interchange. Takes the mark at centre half back, wheels around, puts it out in front of Valentine. Good thinking then. Quick hands upfield. Malone from the point of the square goes into the pocket. Downsborough up in front. Knocked away by Metropolis. Into the pocket now. Metropolis follows up his own football. Run down by Downsborough.
Finds Lamb at centre wing. Hand pass almost missed Miller. He's got it now. If he's not careful, he'll get caught from the side. Kicks towards centre half forward. McNish recovers well. Missed kicks as Donnelly was running back towards the square, and it lands with Mifka. Well, it really has been one of those days for West Perth. Everything has fallen into the slot as Logan clears from the back pocket, and he picks out Harris. Harris just inside the defensive 50 metres. It's going to be a very long last quarter for Subiaco and their supporters. Malone totally unattended in the centre square, and there's the siren. It's three-quarter time, and I think there's a few. Well, John Dimmer will enjoy this last quarter. If you're going to win a grand final, this would be the way to win it. You'll have about 30 minutes in which to thoroughly enjoy the euphoria.
At West Perth, this Brendan Feuster's going to try and lead them home, and the crowd cheer as they start the last quarter.
Well, they'll be hoping, of course, some of these Subiaco supporters, that the Lions can find something. And you keep in mind, a lot of these games this year have gone down to the wire between the two clubs. And I've got a feeling that Subiaco might just raise one further effort in this game as Miller is beset upon, loses it in the tackle, picked up by Burns. He's had a shocker today, gives it away to O'Brien, nicely pirouetted out of trouble, kicks into the pocket, but Monaghan read it best. Just got away with that.
Thought he was off.
And goes right across the full-back line to find Jay Burton from the 50. He kicks to the members' side of the ground. That's a beautifully weighted kick that finds Snow. He's away, cuts inboard, kicks it up high to centre half forward. Donnelly arrives and takes the mark in front of Barrows, and a bit of treatment. Godden floating down the ground. Logan gets in his path, got a hand to it. It was a timely hand from Logan. Got it out of Godden's way. Breeman, hand pass to McNish, who hooks on goal, but hooks too far. And the first score of the last term to Subiaco, one behind.
At three-quarter time, and at the moment it's an even 50 points. as Curley kicks in and then appeared to favour a leg after that kick. We'll see how he pulls up, but Mifka has taken a clever mark in the middle of the pack. Gets it across to a teammate who clears it around the outer side of the ground and finds Mildenhall. Mildenhall has got better as the game has gone on. He kicks from left centre wing, a penetrating kick up towards half forward, and O'Connor outpoints Turley to take a good mark. He immediately drives it back towards centre wing. Oh, sent McFarlane up, who showed some courage to go back, and I don't know that that was a free kick. Well, perhaps Barrows wasn't looking at the ball. And
one of many today, isn't it?
McFarlane's kick finds Godden. Godden into the pocket. And Truella and Langdon go for the mark, neither able to pull it in. Throw-in didn't come very far into play. It's taken away by Feuster now. He was pulled off his hand pass. Harris has it again. Good hand pass through the pack to Curley. Curley kicks across the face of the goal and finds Logan. Logan is in the right full-back pocket for West Perth. He's been a good contributor today. He started in the pocket.
Terrific season for the youngster, playing his first season.
You mentioned at the start of the game that a young player usually emerges in the grand final. Maybe he's been the lad.
Yes, certainly. He's got a great future.
Gets the ball outside the 50-metre zone, and Brunton goes up and takes the mark over O'Brien. Brunton with a decided height advantage. Now he looks back towards full forward. I guess Langdon was the target. Maybe it was Donnelly, and Donnelly it is who's taken the mark so far this afternoon, Donnelly. He's got one now. So Subiaco shows some life and spirit at the start of this final quarter.
He'll be okay, they're pretty tough. Burton wins the tap in the middle over Whitelaw. Lamb tried to soccer it out of the pack. Stewart run down. Downsborough knocks it down. Craig Turley's there. All right, play on, says the umpire. Stewart run down by Godden. Now McFarlane turns back into trouble. That was touched off the boot. Bounces on the 50. Good courage by Miller. Burst his way through there and he set up Dwayne Lamb. Got a favourable bounce. Now a sweeping hand pass to Schofield. It jumped up for air and then he lost it. Allowed West Perth in. It was Mifka who came in to make a contest. Logan goes back towards Feuster. Now Mifka again. Hand passes upfield looking for Logan. Coming in strongly though is Burton. Showing a ton of pace there. Now he goes back into the middle of the ground. Miller judged it best. Knocked away by Donnelly. Barrows went to the ground. Picked up by McFarlane. McFarlane chips into the pocket. Breman and Valentine. Valentine pushes it out. Well done. He was under pressure. Now Mildenhall and McFarlane. Good use of the body by Neil Mildenhall. West Perth out of bother.
Doesn't lose too many one-on-one contests, Mildenhall. A very skillful player. And Malone kicks up towards the half-forward line with a well-weighted kick that is marked by Burns. Parker's had the better of him today. But gee, Robbie Malone, who transferred from Claremont, he's had some possession since quarter time. Burns comes infield to Truella, who has provided considerable dash from his defensive position. Monaghan missed what he should have taken. It went straight through his hands. And now Harris comes in and wins the ball. Burton tried to knock it on. And now Mildenhall, it's not Mildenhall, O'Brien has gone down, but the kick is coming back to Harris, I think. O'Brien was taken high. They're allowed to play on. No Subiaco player runs at O'Brien, and O'Brien has kicked the goal. Well, it almost looks to me as though Subiaco had thrown in the towel.
105 plays 55. These teams have only met twice in grand finals, 1935 and 1973. It was 1-1. West Perth with the commanding lead as Hampson goes upfield. Out very wide, coming down McNish. Feuster and Heatley on the ball there. Lamb hurdles to O'Brien. McNish, Hampson. Too far for McFarlane. Now he's got some work to do. Mildenhall in pursuit. He's got a bit of time and with good vision goes around the corner and finds Hampson at centre half forward. Langdon on the burst and Lamb chips in front to take the mark. Lamb stabs at goal almost and kicks it. Well, he had a very good first half, Dwayne Lamb, and he's finishing off in good style 10 minutes into this last.
Back in the centre, Burton will oppose Feuster. Burton wins that ruck knock, but Subiaco, who've made a lot of ball handling errors today, concede that first possession. and there'll be another bounce alongside the centre circle. Too many times they've had the opportunity to take the ball away and just fumble or don't capitalise on that opportunity. And this time Hampson has pulled off a hand pass, and West Perth bulldoze the ball forward, and eventually it's Turley who picks it up, and once again Malone has given the pack the slip. He takes possession 60 metres out from goal, chips it down towards Downsborough, who can't pull it in under pressure from Metropolis, and there'll be a throw in 55 metres out from the West Perth goal. 16-9 to 9-7. That's terrific kicking by West Perth too.
It's been a hallmark of the finals, hasn't it, the straight kicking?
Yes. Parker tried to take clean possession. Metropolis has it. Hand passes to Snow, now O'Connor, who kicks under pressure from Burns into vacant territory, and it's Curley who leads in the race for the ball. He trapped that cleverly. It was an awkward ball, but Schofield fought back well. He's not able to take it away, and now there's going to be a stealing the second semi-final by a solitary point. They're in fact developing something of a hoodoo. The Subiaco player penalised here.
Yes, good decision from Trevor Garrett there, because Sam McFarlane just ran across the boundary line, and you'll see it here. He's claimed by Brendan Logan, and no attempt to keep that ball in play. Good decision, umpire.
Logan with the free kick just outside half forward. It was West Perth who knocked Subiaco out of the finals last year in the first semi-final by 3 points. They beat Subiaco in the second semi-final this year by that solitary point, and now they're really administering a drubbing to the Lions as we move through the final quarter of this grand final. Malone had the ball knocked out of his fingertips. Harris has it, taken by Downsborough. There's no one in the square, and Downsborough's kicked another one.
What a beauty.
That's his third, and the West Perth players are joyous. They will celebrate for the remainder of this quarter and long and hard into next week.
Burton down to Lamb, throws it out. Lamb again, tunnel balls it back. Hampson and Whitelaw. It spills to O'Brien. West Perth on the move again. Harris almost made ground to take that mark. Godden caught by Downsborough. It comes to Burns. Burns got a hand pass away, but it was sharp by Daniel Metropolis. He was looking for Smith. To the outer side, McFarlane. He's got a fit of the fumbles out there, Sammy McFarlane. He goes down off the ball, play on the call. Milton Hall from 50, lines up and misses.
Godden down with cramp.
Yes,
Came in with a suspect foot injury, didn't he? But
selection decision when you haven't played for 4 weeks. You've got to question that.
Hope it wasn't his left foot then, Trev.
no, he's only got cramp there, but he's certainly under a cloud and ruled out on Friday morning. This is Stewart now in the back pocket. Had a few touches, good kick, gets it out of the danger zone. Whitelaw at the back. Burton was in front, comes down to Malone. Intelligent hand pass, sends Milton Hall away again. Have another shot. Neil Milton Hall from 50 again. This time it's straight. West Perth cruising away. He's kicked 2 today, and he's really come back to show some of the form of 2 years ago. He's had a season interrupted with injury for the Fremantle Dockers, but he's been a very handy player in these finals. 118 plays, 61. The cup on its way to Joondalup, Trev.
Yeah, certainly is. And this player, Neil Mildenhall, has had a bit more to play for than just a premiership medallion today, because I know the Dockers have said to him if he can play well in the finals, he can retain his place in the squad. Well, judging by his performance today, particularly after quarter time, he had his troubles with Sam McFarlane early, but he's just persevered like a lot of his teammates to be a dominant player at the end of the game.
57 points is the margin as Whitelaw goes up, wins a decisive knock, chopped off by Miller. Miller gets it towards half forward for Subiaco. Schofield leads in the race for the ball. He dropped it twice. Jared Schofield's had a lot of problems picking the ball up cleanly today. Kick in towards Donnelly wasn't good either. It gave Donnelly very little chance, and he's going to get the free kick anyway for being ridden into the ground. Donnelly will kick from outside 50 metres. Cross in the direction of Heatley. Mifka got a hand to the ball, down to Logan. Valentine clears it up towards centre wing. Turley leads O'Connor in the run to the ball. Turley tapping it on cleverly. In comes Logan to lend support, but it was O'Connor who picked it up, gets it to Snow. Snow into the pocket and finds McNish. I think there are a few Subiaco players who are perhaps in the same situation as Dwayne Lamb here this afternoon, Trevor. It'll be interesting to see if players like McNish and Willett and Lamb decide to go on next year. Bremen would be another one. Langdon. So there could be a big turnover of Subiaco players next year. But back to the situation here. This year, 18-10 West Perth, Subiaco 9-8. And you have to say that this will be a very fitting result, with West Perth obviously going to go on now and win the 1995 Premiership. They are one club that really has continued to support wholeheartedly the WA competition. And in addition to that, I guess they were the club that was prepared to make a bold move and move their location from historical Leederville Oval out to Joondalup. And that too is to their credit. And now they're reaping the benefits of that support and those moves as they move towards their first premiership since 1975. Logan, wrong foot's Monaghan, goes on goal. I think it'll just miss to the right. Well, I heard a whistle then, but the behind it will stand.
An interesting situation, isn't it? Maybe that last quarter when they flashed home against Subiaco at Joondalup just gave them the impetus and the belief that they could win this premiership. Very significant quarter of football, I reckon, that one in hindsight. Well,
very, very true, Trevor.
It was also the start of the undoing for Subiaco, wasn't it?
They knew from that moment that Subiaco were far from invincible. That's a good kick out of defence by Miller that finds Lamb. Feuster arrives to stand the mark. He's away now. Wayne Lamb, plenty of possessions today. Good kick up to Heatley. One of the few times he's outpointed Mifka. He goes right across the half-forward line to find Grumley. Grumley chips into the pocket for Donnelly. So a positive move then from the Lions.
Look at Schofield.
Donnelly kicks it to Schofield. He's marked 25 metres out and directly in front. Schofield kicks at goal, stabs it through. Another one to Subiaco. They're 10th today. They're 10-8, 68. West Perth are 18-11, 119.
You're suggesting that perhaps they could have chosen a different team, Trevor. I just wonder if sentiment played a role in the selection of this Subiaco team with those players that I've talked about, as McNish tries to get a hand pass away, but West Perth are still not going to concede easy goals. Barrows sweeps the hand pass out wide, and it's going to be a relayed kick against the tackler, and I didn't see who that was. Here's Malone again. Gee, I'd like to see his figures. 22 possessions, 11 kicks, 11 hand passes. He's about to have his 12th kick.
Two handy pickups from Claremont, Barrows and Malone.
Yes, and this will be a sweet result for Brendan Barrows, having missed that grand final or that premiership with Claremont a couple of years ago when he was omitted at the last moment to allow Mark Hepburn, who was on the Eagles list, to come into the team. As Lamb is dispossessed by Turley out there. Milden Hall has pulled off his hand pass, but Harris is there, drives it back towards the 50-metre line. Harris has got cramp?
Yep.
He's entitled to have it.
He's got leather poisoning, I reckon.
Here's Metropolis clearing for Subiaco on to centre wing.
Oops.
That may have been the sun. We'll give Paul Miller the benefit of the doubt. He gets it to Snow. Snow goes back to Monaghan. Monaghan wants to take Whitelaw on, but he wasn't quick enough. Not a good kick to McNish. It cleared him. Taken by Donnelly. And with a tired effort, with 19 wins, 2 losses in the qualifying rounds. West Perth went into the final series with 13 wins and 8 losses as Miller kicks another belated goal for Subiaco.
Back in the middle of the ground, Garrett, good straight bounce by Trevor Garrett. Up goes Feuster, beaten by Burton. Ricochets back into the middle. O'Brien's there, working hard, trying to get a soccer attempt at that, but Lamb got on his path. Turley now working hard. Feuster tried to backpedal. Heatley's got him. Football's about 2 metres away. They've still got each other there in a nice embrace. John Dimmeray played for Subiaco in the 1973 side that defeated West Perth in that grand final. Now he's the coach of the Falcons, who taste victory in the last one of the year for the first time since 1975. Goodness, well, we can hardly remember that far back here.
Well, I remember calling that game.
We do.
And, against South Fremantle, and as we said earlier, it was a 104-point margin. Good mark back there to Mifka. Yes, it was a very decisive victory that day. So when they win them well, Trev.
Valentine from a standing start kicks it straight into a pack of Lions led by Jay Burton. Beaten today. He had a big task to outpoint that ruck battery of West Perth that included Feuster, Whitelaw, Downsborough and others. That's a good kick to McNish inside 50. And Jay Burton's found that task a bit beyond him today as he kicks on into the forward line. Monaghan stole it out of the hands of Truella and kicks a goal. Well, he'd like that, Billy Monaghan. But on the day, he was badly beaten by Chris Groom.
Yes, he was. And personal glory doesn't mean anything. Billy Monaghan, I think, has been trying to get down there and kick a goal and get his name on the score sheet for a while as he strides back through the middle of the ground, now back to his full-back position. Really a tired Steve Truella then, just couldn't take the ball with him. And Bill Monaghan asked the goal umpire whether that was accurate or not.
It's 39 points, Trev. You're not getting nervous, are you?
Not yet.
No. I don't think you need one.
Not if Monaghan's kicking goals, no.
It's Brendan Feuster, who has really emerged in the latter part of this season.
Yes, he'll be on an AFL list after December draft.
He'll be opposed here by Jay Burton. Burton perhaps did the best there. Grumley tried to crash through. Mildenhall's hand pass chopped off by Snow. Snow towards full forward. Another chance here for Subiaco, but it will be Bell who'll run the ball out of defence. He was run down from behind, but they've got options up the ground. Malone gets it back to Bell. Bell clears the ball down towards the half-forward line, and Metropolis goes back and takes the mark. West Perth crowd not happy with the decision, believing he didn't hold it long enough. Grumley takes the mark, gives it to Burton, who was cornered. He has to go back to where Metropolis first took the kick from. Hampson has it now. He kicks down towards centre wing. Monaghan is there. He gets rid of his immediate opponent. Players overrunning the ball. Monaghan chips it to Lamb. Lamb kicks towards full forward. McNish thought there was someone coming. It comes back to McNish anyway, and he hooks on goal and just misses.
Nothing out of their forwards today, Subiaco. He's on one leg now, McNish. Langdon, nothing. Heatley, quiet. Donnelly, beaten. And if there's nothing up forward, Trev, then really you're behind the 8 ball before you start.
Especially the way the ball has gone in there. West Perth were able to get back and really make it a scramble back there with plenty of numbers.
There's a very good kick back into play by Todd Curley. It found Mifka, had a birthday on Heatley today. Kicks to the wing on the outer side. It was a good bounce for Feuster. He finally found the handle. Lumbers around Jay Burton, kicks into the middle of the ground and finds Downsborough. Burns on a lead. With him is Parker. Still battle for it. Malone lending support. And finally the umpire will take it. Neither players had a great influence on the game. Shane Parker or Ronnie Burns. Ronnie Burns.
I think Parker's bleeding again from the head.
Yes, he copped a heavy knock early. He's got to go off with the blood rule. It's only a trickle, but that's the law. Ronnie Burns is a nephew of Benny Vagona, of course, who played more than 150 games for South Fremantle. Had a touch of brilliance about him. Benny Vagona, Trev?
Yes, he did indeed. And Ronnie Burns, who hasn't had a big day. Tony Godden very reluctantly has to go back on the ground for Subiaco. I think most of the Subi players want to get out of here and hide.
Now bounce just outside 50. West Perth going into attack. Downsborough, big thump forward. Too far for Hampson. Chance for Harris. He sockers it into towards the pocket. Smith was being held by Stewart. This will be fitting. A great way to finish, Darren Harris. And look at him. That's exactly what he would have dreamt about, Trev. He's kicked 4 goals today, and he would have thought about that long and hard. I'd like to kick one to finish off West Perth's first win for 20 years in a grand final.
And he's been inspirational, that little fella. And Craig Turley there with him. Marty Whitelaw, just terrific football. And he just perseveres. Look at the little fella running here. Cycles it to his own advantage. A second effort. See this? Tapped by Ryan Smith. He had a look around and he loved it.
Had a grin on his face before he kicked it, didn't he?
He's running, but his feet aren't touching the ground there.
44 points is the margin. We're well into time on now in the final quarter of the grand final. Burns sends Malone away. Malone goes towards Smith and he's taken the mark. If not the mark, he'll get the free kick, and I think it might have been the latter. He's exhausted. That's all it is.
He's been a good player in the forward line. It's been a great move by Dimmer.
Yes, he's done very well.
Well, Bucky told me 3 weeks ago, Wal, that he was a little bit frightened of the height of West Perth, and he wasn't making a a statement just off the top of his head. He was genuinely concerned about the height of West Perth, and
perhaps Ryan
it's come
Smith,
back to haunt him today.
Perhaps Ryan Smith was struck there, and he's just pointing out to Stewart to have a look at the scoreboard. Feels as though he was partially done by, but he's got the free kick.
It's an old trick, Wal. You used to pull that one.
And now what's happened?
50.
What for?
I think it might have been given before, actually. As umpire Garrett went up to Stewart previously.
Yeah, 25.
Well, Smith now has the opportunity to kick his 4th goal. He'll be shooting from about 20 metres out. He's almost directly in front, and he's made no mistake as he goes back to Hamish Stewart and lets him know. And the red and blue flags are waved in triumph yet again.
Well, 51 points at three-quarter time. It's back to 50 now, as Ronnie Burns giving a hand pass off there to Molly Malone, West Perth's second best player, and just leading and attacking the football. That's what West Perth have done all day. They've led their opponents to the ball and have deserved this magnificent victory.
Well, the shot of Ryan Smith said it all, didn't it? Tremendous emotion here today, all day, and a marvellous win. Lamb's tried his heart out. Brunton gets a hand pass away. Snow will run onto it. Decided to go for the soccer attempt. That won't come off because Bell runs it down. Although it will come off eventually because Bell's kicked it out of bounds. There's John Dimmer, triumphant, successful in his first year with West Perth.
Listen to the roar when the crowd see him.
Yeah, they will. He's wrapped, and he's a real gentleman, John Dimmer. Arthur Oliver was successful in his first year with West Perth back in 1960. Big roar goes up, big pack goes up. Mark has been paid. Dimmer comes down to the bench, and he's almost not touching the ground either with his feet.
Did Graham Campbell win in his first year also?
He could have done too in 75, yes.
Yeah, it's a trait that West Perth have got, hasn't it, with their first-year coaches?
Monahan went looking for Godden. It bounced past him, but picked up by Snow. Inboard to Grumley. Logan's got him. Godden couldn't control it. Valentine, or Stewart it is, pushes it towards Downsborough. He loses it. Metropolis gets a good hand pass away to Brunton. Only going through the motions now, these players. Big pack up here. Barrows had a grip on it. Couldn't bring it down. Feuster, good evasion, but he hand passed straight to Langdon, who misses. Crowd will love that.
Carl might have called it quits if he'd kicked that one.
John Dimmer even enjoyed it. But you're a bit hard on Langdon. He's only about 25, isn't he?
27.
27, is he?
I think the injuries have taken a big toll on Carlo.
He's not the player he was.
Valentine down there. Kicks to the 50. Not a good kick, though, and Miller's taken the mark over Malone. Well, 31 and a half minutes plus have gone, so it can't be too long. 50 points the margin. Miller to shoot. He's kicked 2 since he's come on and put Brunton out of business. That'll fall short. Oh, Turley! There's one for the book strip.
Yes, he wanted to get his name in the book as well.
Well, he's done it before, and it's not surprising to see him get a ride like that. Good, you wouldn't get a better ride on the booze bus than he got there.
Go on, Trev, you can bring them home.
All right. Hope it's not too long, Wal. Logan kicks to half forward. Craig Turley punched away there by O'Connor. Here it is again, Trev.
Oh, it's sensational, Mark. He was right. He had the run.
Time, and it's not something that you'd recommend. Mifka, brilliant hand pass. Milton Hall had a look, sold the dummy. Logan, been great today from 30. Puts it through. Another one to West Perth. They've beaten all the odds today, including the streaker, and you well deserved that drink, John Dimmer. 137 plays 81. Nearly 35 minutes gone in this last quarter.
Yes, and a good passage of play again. Mifka involved, one of the stars, to Milton Hall, who's fought it on well. And this is Brendan Logan finishing off brilliantly. And all the West Perth players getting up there to congratulate them. They're all streaming back to the back line now Steve Woodhouse, the general manager there with the coach as well now.
Yeah, he's done a
and
good
they
job.
should save at the moment. A team that kicks 20 goals, have done it for their last 4 games.
Both
It's going to be hard to beat.
Both former SUBIACO clubmen.
Back in the middle, awkward bounce. Burton gets it down, kicked away there by Grumley, very high to half forward. And David Snow's got a race on. Brendan Barrow, there it is! West Perth have won the grand final for 1995. Darren Harris, a very proud captain. West Perth's first win for 20 years. Harris congratulated there by Whitelaw. And there'll be a few tears around the ground today. Johnny Dimmer goes out to the middle to congratulate a wonderful band of West Perth players who were totally focused on bringing home the bacon for the Falcons today. Todd Curley, you were magnificent. Great game. Brendan Feuster, sensational. And the coach well proud of this 21-11 to 12-9 win by West Perth. 137 to 81. And the crowd have gone berserk here.
And our ABC cameraman right in the middle of that. That's terrific to see, isn't it? They're doing their work.
Young Robbie in there doing a great job. And yeah, just scenes that we haven't seen for, what, 20 years or more. I feel my heart goes out to the family of the late Roy Ennis right now. They wore black armbands today in memory of that great West Perth custodian who was around for so long as a trainer. He didn't quite make it today, but a lot of hearts go out to that family today.
Oh, Roy'd be looking down. He'd know all about this.
And my girlfriend, Rosa Townsend, I can imagine how she is at the moment. She'll be in that pack somewhere, looking to steal a kiss.
All, yeah.
I'll tell you what, a large proportion of the crowd has stayed in the stands too, which is a further testimony to this club and these players. Don't forget that back in May, towards the end of May in fact, they were 5th. They weren't even in the 4. And as the season has gone on, they've got better and better. And as Trevor Sprigg said in the latter stages of our commentary, I can't help but feel that the turning point perhaps came at Joondalup in the final qualifying game between these two teams, when Subiaco turned for home at three-quarter time in that game with a 43-point lead. They held on to win by 3 points, but West Perth were magnificent in that final term, and they kicked on from there, whereas Subiaco appeared to lose momentum. They subsequently won a close one against East Fremantle, but then lost the second semi-final, held on in the preliminary final, but today didn't ever show any of the form that they'd shown earlier in the season.
Let's check the final scores from this memorable grand final. The West Perth 21-11, 137. Subiaco beaten today 12-9, 81 after a magnificent season of 19 qualifying games and only 2 losses.
Across towards the presentation. A lot of people that have now encircled the presentation area.
I suppose there's a lot of these players, Trevor, that would have thought they may go through their careers without winning a grand final. He's one of them. Yes. Congratulated by Stuart Hillier, who played in the 1975 grand final. 3 cheers go up for the Falcons. Been a great contributor, Craig Turley.
Yes, and he's 30 years of age too now, Turley, so some of these players are running out of time, and Paul Mithka there, it's his first premiership success in any grade of football, I believe, and you know, he was very committed today.
With the support and the financial benefits of moving to Joondalup, it could be the start of a new era for West Perth.
They've got some good youngsters coming through their system, and they've got a very good coach, and I think he was very much maligned, John Dimmer, early in the season. A lot of people thought that maybe he wasn't the right sort of person for the coaching role. There's 2 really good players, Ian Downsborough and Brendan Barrows there. I'd like to see Barrows get drafted to AFL football. He's hard and tough, and he's mean, and he's the sort of player that would do well at AFL. He's 24 years of age and knows the system, and Barrows would certainly have a future in that grade, I believe.
The players finally getting together in an area that's been roped off in the centre square where the presentations will take place, and the medallions and the Simpson medals will be handed out as the WAFL board chairman Barry McKinnon congratulates the Falcons on their wonderful win today.
Me, President of the club, Tom James, and all of those people at West Perth who had the courage
to make a decision to relocate to Joondalup. Today, this victory has been a crowning achievement and rewarded that courageous decision.
You'll hear the biggest roar when Darren Harris gets announced as Simpson medalist.
The SUBIACO, congratulations to the SUBIACO Football Club. They were courageous to defeat a club that had 3 teams in the finals, and I think they're just rewarded for a good year. To our sponsors in Pepsi and Healthways, thank you very much indeed. And now to John Dimmer. Darren Harris, could you come forward and we'll make a presentation, please, of the Premiership flag.
The captain, Darren Harris, he led by example from the word go and kicked that goal towards the end that really was the cream on the cake.
John Dimmer, the coach, Darren Harris, the captain.
Here it is.
Receiving the pennant, the flag, for 1995.
For John Dimmer and Darren Harris.
There it is. West Perth, the Joondalup Falcons, Premiers, 1995.
Hard to believe after all this time, Trev.
They had that sign up very quickly,
Yes, they did.
Call upon Mr. Callum
But yes,
Kerr,
20 years,
ladies and gentlemen, representing
a long time.
Pepsi here in Western Australia. Our major sponsors of football, Pepsi, have been for many years. Mr. Callum Kerr to present the Pepsi Cup.
This is what they play all year for, that hard work that goes on for months and months. And then the EMU Export Series, the pre-season cup, and now the home and away games that lead into these finals. There's so much work and sweat and tears that go on, and to receive this now is just the hallmark of an outstanding year for the West Perth Football Club. A proud coach, John Dimmer, and a proud captain, Darren Harris, hold the Pepsi Cup trophy high to the jubilant supporters that had swarmed onto this ground.
Thank you to Callum
Jeff Gieschen responsible for bringing him here.
Yes, a boy from Wodonga in Victoria, and
Jeff Gieschen now goes into the grand final as
Yes.
assistant coach with Geelong.
and maybe they can win after a long time as well, 32 years.
Receive their medallions. They'll be handed to you by Barry McKinnon, of course.
This
A
is
special
the
moment for
medallion
each and every one of
presentation
these
now
fine
to
players. John.
the West Perth players. We'll let John Dimmer do the talking.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a magnificent day for the West Perth Football Club, and I'd like to particularly thank the magnificent supporters who got along today. I think we had by far the biggest contingent here, and your support, cheering, flag waving was magnificent. Commiserations obviously to SUBIACO, but it's amazing what can happen when you've got a team of committed footballers like we had today. You can achieve whatever goals you set yourself, and the boys certainly did it today with the captain and vice captain and everybody else leading the way. So well done, boys. You deserve this victory. I will get them up one at a time. Robert Molly Malone.
Gee, he had a wonderful game, didn't he, Malone? Got away when it was necessary, Trev.
Yes, he seemed to be on his own so much, didn't he? And he wasn't tagged and manned up by SUBIACO.
Neil Mildenhall.
Good second half.
Yes,
Back to his best.
Fought back really well, Neil Mildenhall, and might have done just
Stevie
enough to stay on
Trella.
the Fremantle Dockers list. And this little fella, Trella, isn't he a goer? He epitomises what's good about this West Perth team.
Ryan Smith.
Dropped off the Dockers list, but today, kicking 4 goals in the forward line, didn't get a trial with the Dockers. May get picked up by another club.
Dean Brunton.
I've admired this young man's performances in recent weeks. Well, he's hobbling now, but
Yes, he did a hamstring early in the game, didn't he? But he showed courage to come back on, and he had another crack at McNish. Wasn't able to do the
Benny
job.
Stewart.
did well. Stewart used off the interchange, but whenever he came onto the ground, he did what was necessary and gained a lot of possessions for a short time
Todd Curley.
on SUBIACO Oval.
Yes. Ben Stewart, a good player when the game slows down after the initial burst, and Todd Curley had a terrific season back from Collingwood.
Well, he saw stars early and reached for them later.
Gavin Bell.
first-year player from Warwick. Played 11 games this season.
Brendan Logan.
And this boy has got a future.
Yes, he has. His father, who played in the 1975 grand final, to be proud today to see his son get the same medal that he got
Jeff
20 years ago.
Valentine.
Well, he's a player who had very little football in the lead up to this game through injury, but did it well.
Ronnie Burns.
Well, not one of Ronnie's best days today, but a very inspirational and opportunist half-forward flanker who's done his bit during the season.
Craig Turley.
Well, arguably the most popular player in the whole of West Australian football.
Has been for many years.
And that's a WAFL medal to go with his
Darren
AFL one.
O'Brien.
Well, he's a player that I've always admired. He's fought injury after injury to his knees, and to get this medal today, it's all been worthwhile, Darren.
Brendan Feuster.
Yes, the boy Feuster.
You like him, Trev, don't you?
Yes, we'll have to go, and I'm pretty sure the Eagles will draft him.
Well done, Brendan Feuster.
Chris Groom.
Well, he won't be playing the trumpet tonight, but by the same token, he's had a pretty good season, hasn't he?
I think he's kicked about 70-odd goals in 14 games for the Falcons,
Ashley
an average of 5.
Burton.
That's a very good average indeed, and he was terrific while he was on the ground, as was this player, Ashley Burton.
He's recovered okay?
Yes, he has, and he's got to get more chances with the West Coast Eagles next year.
Ian Downsborough.
He's happy about that. Not bad when you get up off the deck after being flattened, and you can still smile at the end of the day. Well, this is another player with enormous potential, Downsborough.
He's agile,
Brendan
the mould of
Barrows.
modern-day big players. And this is the fella that I said is hard.
He's answered the challenge, hasn't he? Donnelly had him in trouble in the early part of the year. He answered the challenge remarkably well, Brendan.
Yes, he stands up very strong.
You'll be pleased with that. Another effort for the country.
Marty Whitelaw.
A lot of people in our country areas watching today. A lot of these boys started in the country. And Marty's got his own cup.
He's not letting it go.
That's the Perth Cup.
We're
Can't work out who I've left off.
down to the captain.
Paul Mifka.
Almost.
And they're not boos you hear. That's the big woof they give for Paul Mifka's raking left foot kicks. And isn't he happy?
Well, he did a great job. He had a job to do. He's on a mission.
And the guy who led
he
the way
carried it
today,
out to
one of the
its
best
full.
captains
There he
ever
is.
likely to
Yeah.
get at a football club, Darren Harris.
Well done, Darren Harris, and I think he'll be back in a moment to get another medal.
That's the coach, John Dimmer.
John Dimmer in his first year.
Well done, John.
Played football with SUBIACO, coach in the Claremont reserves for many years. Did a good job there. He's carried on those skills into league football and has done a marvellous job with West Perth this year. Mifka wears his medal proudly. I suppose he'd be a bit of a chance for the Simpson medal as well.
Yes. He would be a chance.
They're about to announce the Simpson medalist.
Good, thank you, Gary. 50 years ago, this medal was first presented. It was at the end of the World War. And since then, there's been little more than 100 medals handed out, half of those in grand finals. So winning one entitles you to belong to an elite group, including the likes of Mel Winnan and Bill Dempsey, who were the last West Perth players who won this medal. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of the medal is the captain, Darren Harris.
I think Trevor Spring had him earmarked for this medal at the end of the second quarter.
Yeah.
And he carried it on in the second half. Congratulations to Darren Harris, Simpson medalist in the 1995 grand final. And I know the man that you walked in today with, Mel Winnan, will be very pleased to see that go to young Darren Harris, Melbourne, and a winner of that medal in 1975 when West Perth won.
Well, I'd like to thank Mr. Simpson for the medal. Thanks SUBIACO. Can't have a grand final without them, but to the 20 blokes and all the blokes that have been involved all year, sensational, mate. All the hard work that we've done has come true.
Is that word again?
And we're going to party.
Long and hard, I'd say. Well done, Darren Harris. Simpson medalist 1995 in a grand final that will be long remembered. Now Brendan Barrows, who played centre half back and did such a sterling job for West Perth in outpointing Andrew Donnelly, is down there with John Anea. John?
Well, Bunny, what a great day for you.
Oh, yeah, mate, tremendous, mate. To come out here and the boys had the week off. We came out, we watched the AFL guys that had a week off and came out and they destroyed their side, so we followed that as that was our motive to do exactly what they did. And the boys come out and we did it. It was great.
And especially, there's a little bit more to it, hasn't there? You unfortunately missed out in the grand final a number of years ago, and at last you've had your chance.
Yeah, I missed out on the one in 91, a 1-1 with Claremont in 89. So I've got two now, so Bertie Malone got the trifecta. I was hoping to be with a trifecta with him, but I'll stick to the double, I think.
Well done, mate. And look, I thought you played extremely well, especially over that final series, and congratulations on a good game and a great final outcome.
Thanks, John, mate.
You, buddy.
Yeah, see you later, mate.
Thanks, Trev.
Thank you, John. John Anea down there getting the emotion that surrounds the West Perth team through Brendan Barrows.
I think they're going to walk a lap of honour here by the looks, DJ.
You couldn't blame them for being a bit tired.
Yes.
You did make the point early, Trevor. This will be very trying today, and it really shone out that West Perth, that physical pressure early that was in this game, would have been energy sapping for a lot of those players. It's a time where you feel a bit sorry for the vanquished, Subiaco. They're a very good football club. They've had a wonderful year in the home and away, but of course they're nowhere to be seen now. They've left, and West Perth can only parade their banners, flags and medals for this very big crowd. Well, the West Perth coach, John Dimmer, standing alongside John Anea, and he'd be a very proud man, I think, John.
Well, getting used to these interviews, JD, after the end of the season, the pre-season comp, you took it off, and now this one, it's a fantastic event.
This is the big one. This is the one we've been working at all year, all the training, all the team meetings you have, the ups and downs. This is what it's all about, man. It is fantastic.
So it's even best of West Coast amateurs, is it?
I mean, that was a bloody good one. I thoroughly enjoyed that, but I think as you go up, you've got to say that this is the best.
And I guess, you know, for your own personal point of view, JD, you know, you're at Claremont for a number of years as the reserves coach, and at last you've been given an opportunity, and in your first year as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you often think about. I did apply for a few jobs at different clubs earlier on, but West Perth were the ones that were good enough to give me the opportunity. And it's tremendous to be able to reward them by their faith in me.
JD, going into today's game, was there any sort of different strategy that you tried after the second semi-final? Or was
No, not really. It was basically just carry on. I mean, we'd won the second semi, so there wasn't much point in changing it around too much. I think the week off, in hindsight, probably had a bit of a bearing at it. You only had to have a look at the AFL games yesterday as well. I don't know if that gave the boys a bit of a boost seeing those results, but I think it did help out in the long run.
You're hiding the forward line. You had three bigs there for quite a majority of the game. That seemed to sort of unsettle Subiaco, especially the dominance of the midfield.
Yeah, I thought it was a very good performance by the big boys up there. I mean, if one of them was under control, then another one would pop up. You know, Ryan Smith had a burst, Groomy, Downsbury did his job, Feuster did a bit around the ground as well. But the little blokes in the midfield, they were just outstanding. I mean, the captain who's won the Simpson medal, I thought his game today, and all year really, but today in particular, was just out of this world.
Yeah, he's amazing. You seem to manage to get those kicks out in tight situations,
he did.
wasn't he? Kick a couple of goals.
And that just lifts everybody, because all the other players see it happen and they say, well, it's good enough for the captain, it's good enough for me to do it, and they get in there as well.
Yeah, I noticed you made reference to Craig Turley. You know, he did a couple of, especially in that first quarter, he did a couple of great efforts where he sort of was bowled over and got that second effort.
I mean, that's the sort of bloke he is. Turles just goes and goes and goes and gives 100%. He could have blokes hanging off him, bashing into him, whatever. He just plays the ball as hard as he can.
Well, JD, look, have a great night tonight.
We certainly will. Yeah. We'll have a beauty.
No, well done again.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Two Johns, John Anea talking with the West Perth coach, John Dimmer, after this exciting win.